You guessed it. It is once again Words of Wisdom Wednesday. I am Kathy Weaver, and I am definitely part of the fan club for Delinda Lane and the Fun Fearless Female global community of Christian women. Wednesday seems to come around quicker and quicker every single week. I realize that, but it's just so awesome to be able to be a part of this community, and certainly I got to be on Delinda's show last week, and that was amazing. And it was just she lights up a room. You have to know that. It's just very incredibly awesome. So let's talk a little bit about a subject that is near and dear to many of our hearts. Certain people who shall remain not identified might have what we call control issues. So to that end, today I wanted to talk about control. Do you know how awesome it is if you are the host of a Zoom call, how much control you actually have? I just wanted to talk about that. Do you know how much control you actually have? You've got everybody all lined up on their Brady Bunch squares, and we've talked before on these calls about how you can move them around, drag and drop, so you get your leadership team wherever you want them for the picture, or you get all the ladies wearing pink over here and the ladies wearing green over here, and you arrange the picture however you want as far as drag and drop on the Brady Bunch squares. Fun. Then I wanted to talk about the 3 magic dots at the top of each person's Brady Bunch square. I don't know if you've used it before, but it really is an incredibly cool feature. Depending upon how you have your Zoom account set up in the settings section, and remember, anything I ever teach, you can find on YouTube. How do I this? How do I that? So never worry about having to learn anything quickly here or even watch the replay video. But when you click on the magic 3 dots, you just hover your mouse over the person's Brady Bunch square. And usually it's at the top right as you're facing the screen. And you click on the 3 dots, and guess what you can do? If they are the speaker, you can spotlight them. We've talked about that before, but have you ever done it? It just makes the person feel a little more valued, I guess you would say. So just think in terms of a spotlight, and it says spotlight for everyone. Then, of course, we've talked about pin. You can't read that teensy little QR code because there's 49 people on your call, and the thumbnail for each person on your screen is teensy. Even if you have a great big 75-inch monitor, you still have teensy little Brady Bunch square, and your phone camera can't read their QR code. So now you pin them. Okay, remember that? Click on the 3 magic dots, scroll down to pin, and that'll pin the person that you Brady Bunch squared. And now you can make their actual square show up on your entire computer, and then you can read, your camera can read their QR code. Or if they've got something in the background that is super cool and you just can't read it because it's teensy weensy, pin them, and then you'll be able to see whatever their advertisement is. Did you know that from the 3 magic dots in a certain person's square, you can turn off their video? This actually happened the other day on one of my calls. I don't think the lady realized that her camera was on, and it was not a good fit for her to be recorded. And so I just turned off her video, and she was already muted, which was fine, but I don't think she realized people can see you, my friend. So I turned off her camera, doing her and the rest of the room a favor, FYI. But it was really one of those moments that I don't think, you're on these all day long. You kind of don't remember you're on a Zoom call maybe. And you can turn off their camera. You can mute them. So all of a sudden, again, you've got 49 people on your call, or that's how much a Zoom account will take at a time, is 49 people on a screen. Some people, like if you have 100 people, that's 2 or 3 pages, of course. And so you can tell who's talking or who is interfering, if you will, probably accidentally. They just took a phone call. Hey, how are you? Good to see. We're trying to have a meeting here. And they didn't realize that they were talking. So from their Brady Bunch square, it lights up kind of yellowish, lit up, that they're the speaker, that they're talking, and you can literally go to their Brady Bunch square, click on the magic 3 dots and mute them yourself. And it's all quicker than going down in the bottom bar where it says participants and dealing with it that way. So you can spotlight, you can pin, you can turn off the camera, you can turn off the volume, like mute them. The other thing that you can do, and there's several things, so please consider taking a look at your own settings and seeing how your Zoom account is set up. But since we're on these all day long, and since we host calls and training sessions and all the different things that we do in the course of a day, I just wanted to share some of the cool things that we get to do. Okay. So you can also rename someone. Now, be nice about it. But sometimes if people have a nickname, in our particular community here, we have Doc, we have Debbie Dub. If you don't know who these folks are, just ask. Very awesome to be able to have Doc and Debbie Dub here. And these are just some, Granny Boss. We've got nicknames for several of our people here in the Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women with Delinda Lane. So I have on occasion, okay, transparency, renamed some of my friends when I'm the host of a call. Tongue in cheek, super fun. I probably, maybe, who knows me, but I probably didn't leave their names like that, and they can change it back themselves. But when you're the host of a call on a Zoom call, depending upon how your settings are set up, you can rename people. And the reason that that is actually helpful is all of a sudden, if somebody's name is DJ and somebody's trying to find them on LinkedIn, they can't. But if you know DJ's name, then you can fix it for her, and the people can find her on LinkedIn. I don't do it automatically because sometimes incognito is intentional. I don't want to be found on social media, so I'm going to call myself something mysterious. Just depends. There's also opportunity for security, of course. So as the host of a call, down at the bottom of your screen, again, it depends on how you're set up, there is a tab called Security. And the purpose is to prevent Zoom bombers. I get that. But there are other things that you can do down at the security tab that may be super important for your calls. So take a look. You're going to lock the meeting, which means no one can come in except whoever's on there. You're going to enable the waiting room if you want. If you've got your account set up so that you can have a waiting room, you're going to enable the waiting room, which means everyone who comes to your call has to be allowed in your call. And that way, again, you prevent strangers from getting your number. You can allow your participants to share screen or not, all from the security tab. You can allow the chat, like the chat is enabled. You can allow them to rename themselves. You can allow them to unmute themselves. Some calls don't let you do that. They don't want you to unmute because this is a webinar. I'm recording it. Don't talk during my webinar as far as asking questions. And so there's several things that you can do with the security tab. So just push buttons at the bottom and see what's on there. And many of the things can be altered, adjusted, or fixed in your Zoom settings when you're not on a call. So again, I wanted to talk a little bit about control, because Zoom actually gives us tons of control to be able to run our Zoom meetings. Now, we've also talked about the little green circly thing at the top left of every Zoom call. And when you click on that, it literally allows you to see the ID number of the call that you're on, a password if there is one, and then the cool thing is the copy link. So now you can control who you invite to this call, literally simply by clicking on the copy link, and LinkedIn message, Facebook message, email them, whatever, the link to this particular call, and then pretty soon on they pop, which is kind of fun. You can also control how you're going to have your photos taken. If you're the host of a call, and again, it depends on how your Zoom settings have been set up, created, and saved, you can have speaker view, like the speaker is talking, that's the one that you'll see on your screen. You can see gallery view, which is all 49 people, you can see them. Immersive is there. If you don't know what immersive is yet, click on it and play with it. It's a cool thing, a cool tool, if you will. We've talked about that before on some of these calls as well. But the reason immersive is fun is so that people can actually see what you're going to be saying, but now you're going to be in a whole different setting. So once again, control over how your photos are taken. Okay. And that's why I wanted to share today specifically about the control word, because isn't it cool that we can control how people are seeing us, how we are controlling our meetings so that people can actually perhaps pay a little bit more attention. And it's just an opportunity, once again, for Zoom to be the platform that so many people love. And now you're able to, you see even the brand of Zoom on the Skylift thing, the ski lift. It's back to that same thing, branding, branding, branding. And now you're branding your picture because you changed the immersive view. So it's not just Brady Bunch squares every single time. Okay. So I just wanted to share the control piece and how Zoom has helped us get our brand out there. And we have control over the call, turning people's camera on and off, muting them, renaming them, putting them in a waiting room. If someone's being inappropriate or distracting and their camera's off, then they turn it back on. Then you turn it back off and they turn it back on. And they're on a call. You can see they're on a call and it's distracting to the rest of the guests. Then literally click on the security tab and enable, put them in a waiting room. Okay. Click on the 3 magic dots, see what's up there. When you're on a call with someone else, you won't have the same choices, probably, depending upon how they have set up their call. But you'll be able to see what you can do if you're the host of a call while someone else is maybe speaking. You can click on the 3 dots on any of the Zoom squares, and then you'll be able to see actually what you can control. It's very awesome. It's very amazing. Zoom continues to change, update, upgrade, even though every time there's an update, you're going, oh no, what's this going to do? I promise it won't hurt. And ultimately, once you get used to it, you're going to love it too. It's just amazing what Zoom has done for us. And for those people who might have control issues. So I just wanted to share that today. One of my favorite words is control. Zoom is playing right into that hand. And now you're able to see exactly what you can do on Zoom. Push a button, check out the 3 magic dots, check the security tab at the bottom, see what is available. Click the view on your camera on your Zoom square and see what the view does. Click on breakout rooms. You can control how many minutes they're in there. You can control who meets with whom. You can control the name of the breakout rooms. You can control tons of stuff. You can control a share screen. You can control a whiteboard. You can even create a poll during your share screen calls afterwards. How did you like this? Was this a good fit for you? Have you done it yet? How do I do a poll on Zoom? Either go to Zoom and ask the question in the search bar or YouTube. I go to YouTube for everything. So again, it's a control issue, and I love the control that Zoom gives us on each and every one of our calls when we're the host. Thanks for watching. I will see you next Wednesday on Words of Wisdom Wednesday. And again, I'm Kathy Weaver. Bye for now. What are you trying to control?